In Ridley Scott's Prometheus, one of the most mind-bending and perplexing questions haunts the story. Why did the engineers, ancient godlike beings, create humanity only to later plan its destruction? This chilling paradox is one of the central mysteries of the alien universe, and its implications are far more complex than we could have ever imagined. Today we embark on a journey to unravel the truth behind the engineers and their dark, enigmatic motives. Was humanity's creation a mistake, a test, or a punishment? And what exactly is the significance of their bizarre relationship with us? Stay with me as we delve into Ridley Scott's cryptic universe, unpacking the hidden clues, philosophical ideas, and dark secrets behind the engineers' actions. In Prometheus, we are introduced to the engineers, a race of ancient beings whose existence appears far more advanced than our own. These are not just extraterrestrial beings, they are creators, possessing the ability to seed life and terraform entire worlds. In the opening scene, we witness an engineer, seemingly sacrificing itself to create life on Earth. The black liquid, a substance with mysterious properties, courses through the engineer's body as it falls into the river below, creating life that would eventually lead to humanity's existence. This image is both beautiful and disturbing. The notion that life on Earth was initiated by an extraterrestrial entity is a compelling idea, but it raises one very crucial question. If the engineers gave us life, why would they later want to destroy us? What was their endgame? As we dig deeper into the mythos of Prometheus and the larger Alien franchise, the answers seem to be buried in a complex mixture of science, mythology, and philosophy. At first glance, the engineers seem like godlike creators. They planted the seeds of humanity's existence. Why would they later turn against their own creation? To understand this, we need to dig into the motives behind their actions. In the film, as the crew of the Prometheus ventures deeper into the alien temple, they uncover an unsettling truth. The engineers had planned to destroy humanity with the same black liquid they used to create life. But why? What led them to change their minds, or did they ever truly change their minds? Let's look at the evidence, starting with the ancient murals and the engineers' monumental presence. The temple's murals depict a race that had the power to create life and destroy it. But what stands out in these images is the symbolism, the connection between the engineers and death, creation, and destruction. This raises an important question: was humanity ever intended to survive? One of the most chilling theories about the engineers' intentions involves their understanding of humanity as flawed, almost as though humanity was never meant to reach a level of intelligence that could rival their creators. In Prometheus, the black liquid, capable of both creating life and causing destruction, serves as a metaphor for the duality of existence itself. Creation and annihilation are two sides of the same coin. Some believe the engineers saw humanity as a mistake, an experiment gone wrong that needed to be erased. But what if this wasn't about mere destruction? What if the engineers' actions were a test of our worth, our survival, or our understanding of our own creation? To understand this test, we must turn to the world of mythology. The engineers resemble the ancient gods of various civilizations, gods who gave life but also had the power to take it away. In Greek mythology, we see gods like Prometheus, who defied Zeus to give fire to humanity, a gift that came with great consequences. Much like the engineers, Prometheus's actions were driven by an understanding of humanity's potential, but also its flaws. What if the engineers saw themselves as Prometheus, giving life to humanity, but ultimately fearing that humanity would misuse the gift? Were the engineers testing us, just as Prometheus tested humanity's worthiness? Another theory that looms large is the idea of punishment. Could the engineers have created humanity only to realize that they had made a terrible mistake? Perhaps humanity's inherent violence, greed, and self-destructive tendencies led the engineers to see us as a failed experiment. This would explain the destructive nature of the black liquid. But what if it wasn't just punishment for humanity's failings? What if the engineers were punishing themselves for their own hubris and playing God? Yet another possibility is that the engineers' actions stem from something even darker, something we may not fully understand. What if the engineers' destruction of humanity was part of a larger, more sinister agenda? Could they be trying to prevent us from discovering something so dangerous that we would be a threat to the entire galaxy? This theory aligns with the larger Alien franchise, where the Xenomorphs, the ultimate creation of the engineers, serve as a weapon, a tool for cosmic annihilation. But here's the kicker. The engineers are not mere villains. They are ambiguous beings whose actions blur the lines between godhood and creation and destruction. Perhaps they believe that humanity, in all its potential, is a ticking time bomb, a species destined to rise and fall by its own nature. In this sense, the engineers are not punishing humanity. They are simply trying to prevent the inevitable. In the final scenes of Prometheus, we see the last remaining engineer who has been awakened after centuries of slumber. His reaction to the humans is not one of awe or wonder, but of anger. He immediately seeks to destroy them. But why? Is it simply because of a deep-seated hatred for their creation? Or is there something more? What the engineers' ultimate goal was, we may never fully understand. But what we do know is that their creation of humanity is tied to something much deeper than we could ever have anticipated. Their actions, whether as a punishment, a test, or a desperate attempt to prevent catastrophe, raise more questions than they answer. And so the engineers remain a mystery, a race that gave life only to planet's destruction. Was it our fault, or was it something greater than ourselves, a cosmic test that we failed from the start? The truth lies hidden in the stars, in the remnants of a race that once shaped life as we know it. As we continue to explore Ridley Scott's Alien universe, the questions around the engineers will linger in our minds. Was humanity ever meant to survive? What did the engineers know that we don't? What cosmic secrets are they guarding? And why are they so determined to keep us in the dark? The answers are out there, waiting to be discovered. But until then, we are left with more questions than answers. The truth behind the engineers' motives may be darker and more complex than we could ever imagine. Thank you for watching.